Hi everyone! Today is the 7th week of outbreak in New York City. And now we have about 170,000 cases confirmed in New York City, and there are 2,000 to 3,000 new cases each day. This is still an underestimate since a lot of people have no chance to be tested. According to a report I read recently, the New York City government tried to calculate the potential contagious population by testing the random samples of New York City residents. And the result is out of expectation. In every 5 people in New York City, there is 1 confirmed. While the outbreak in the whole United States is still severe, the discrimination against Asian people increases every day. The discrimination did not just start now, we know, but the fear against the virus concretes and exacerbates this kind of discrimination. So, we see many violent behaviors against the Asian, verbally and physically, in our news every day. So today I want to talk about a very serious topic. I want to share 2 major types of discrimination, racial discrimination that I faced frequently in the past 8 years. In case you don't know me, I want to introduce briefly about myself. I'm Kiki Liu, and I was born and grew up in Taiwan. I came to United States 8 years ago for grad school, and now I'm currently living in New York City and working here. I did not grow up here, so my experience cannot represent those Asian Americans who were born and grew up here, and I believe they have been facing so many different kinds of discrimination that is different from my experiences. But during the last 8 years, as an Asian foreigner and as an immigrant now, I have accumulated a lot of experiences of facing stereotypes and a lot of verbal microaggressions. And I don't really like the word micro here because even it is micro, it still have macro influences. Macro, M-A-C-R-O, macro. First, Orientalism. Orientalism is an idea that is observed and articulated by Edward Said, who is one of the most influential scholars in contemporary culture history. So, from the past to now, we know there is always a clear distinction between the Orient and the Occident. So Said says, let me read it. What did he say? He says, the Orient has helped to define Europe or the West as its contrasting image, idea, personality, and experience. Honestly speaking, I don't think there's any problem to differentiate the differences and then because it's kind of human nature to know the differences and to categorize what we learned and what we see. And also this is kind of the process of making knowledge. But my point today is what makes this kind of dichotomy problematic is how this kind of distinction is institutionalized. So Said also says, it means to deal with the Orient by making statements about it, settling it, ruling over it. In short, Orientalism as a Western style for dominating destructing, and having authority over the Orient. It implies that by defining the Orient, the Western counterpart posit themselves as better, smarter, more modern, more advanced, whereas the East is associated with the idea of backwardness, illness, and weakness. Okay, for instance, when wearing masks is a basic hygiene practice for a lot of East Asian peoples during the flu seasons, for a lot of Westerns, they either demonize this practice or claim its futility. Without taking the effort to understanding how this effort is scientifically adopted in East Asia and instead taking it as a joke is how this kind of discrimination and how this kind of arrogance takes place. Without promoting this production and going against it at the very beginning of this virus crisis, now everyone in the United States is suffering from this consequence. Okay, Said also says the idea of East also referred mainly to that created consistency, that regular constellation of ideas as the preeminent thing about the Orient. For me, the alleged created consistency bugs me a lot. Some people will say, you Asians should look the same. You Asians should share the same identity. All Asian girls should have Mulan faces, and all Asian girls should look a little bit tanned. Oh well, I don't like sun, so every time I go out, I wear some sunscreen to block the sunlight. And if it's possible, I will also use umbrella. So people talk to me, why? You are Asian. Why don't you like your skin color? Why do you want to be Caucasian? Oh, come on. If I am not Mulan, it seems like I'm not qualified to be Asian at all. So my ideal beauty is her, Zhen Mi, in ancient China. It's not her, Snow White. Okay? Second, permanent deficiency. An immigrant or a foreigner might have the feeling of feeling deficient a lot. It might start with the difficulty of using a foreign language, but even you work so hard, you push yourself to the extreme level, you probably still feel deficient, broken, not completed. So, but who is complete? I want to ask myself, in my life, have I ever seen and read any foreigner who writes and speaks my native language, which is Mandarin Chinese, flawlessly? The answer is no. But one of the most common comments that I and my other Asian academic friends receive is, find a native speaker to edit and proofread your work. Okay, this comment assumes all these foreigners who have weird spelling of their names have much worse English academic writing ability than a native English speaker, whoever this person is. And I want to say, I'm not claiming that our writings are perfect and there are no grammar mistakes in our papers, but in fact, none of my friends nor myself have ever submitted a work that is not edited or proofread by a professional editor, and their native language happened to be English. Even though our English has been multiple checked by the so-called professional English native speakers, we still receive a lot of this kind of condescending comment all the time. So that is to say, the people judge the writing by thinking any differences in style and usage is due to a permanent language deficiency. In addition, this kind of attitude also shows contempt toward the professional editors because they think as long as you can speak English, you can do this kind of job, which is not true. Ooh, too angry. Calm down. Let me smile. There are still a lot of different kinds of discrimination that Asians may encounter every day in this country, and it can layer up with your class, your gender, your sexual orientation, or religion. So, what's your story? Can you share some? And do you have any way to defend yourself? Or do you have any ways to defend for your Asian friends? Yes, let's talk about it in the future. Oh, I'm tired. Thank you. Bye. The people judge Edward Said, who is a very famous, one of the most influential. Go. Okay, calm down. Discrimination against Asian people increases every day.